Get out, and then they have to have an experience before they realize I should have checked in.
Yeah.
The acting United States Attorney here in Los Angeles. Today, we're here to announce federal criminal charges against Eugene Henley Jr., a career criminal known as Big U, who used his contacts and leadership role in the Crips criminal street gang, the entertainment industry, and a youth charity to further his own criminal enterprise, an enterprise that engaged in murder, extortion, robbery, human trafficking, COVID fraud, and other felonies.
COVID
Mr.
fraud.
Henley
Damn,
and several
COVID
other
fraud?
individuals linked to him and his criminal enterprise were charged in a criminal complaint with federal racketeering conspiracy. Mr. Henley is a fugitive, and he is currently wanted by federal law enforcement. Other individuals linked to his criminal enterprise were arrested today, approximately 10 defendants who are charged in various indictments. Again, Mr. Henley is a fugitive. 4 defendants are in state custody and will be transferred into federal custody. And we are still seeking Mr. Henley and another fugitive.
Fam, we gotta talk, because Big U federal case just got a whole lot bigger. I'm talking about an 85-page indictment that the feds just dropped. And after reading it, I can tell you right now, this ain't just some paperwork. They added a whole lot of new allegations that wasn't in the last one. They talking about murder, trying to keep witnesses quiet while incarcerated, robbery, non-profit money, taxes. It's a lot. And if what the government is alleging is true, they're trying to paint the picture that this wasn't just one crime. They're saying this was an entire enterprise. Now, before we go over this one, y'all already know how we do it over here. And then
Do we not know that already, though?
indictment is just that, an indictment. These are allegations by federal prosecutors, and everybody charged is presumed innocent until they proven guilty in court. My job not to pick a side. My job is to show you exactly what the paperwork says. And trust me, some of the stuff in this new indictment caught me completely off guard. The feds are alleging Big U ordered violent acts, tried to stop witnesses from talking, and laid out what they say happened to an artist they identified as RW. We went over that in the last video, but it also included allegations involving Grammy-winning artists. We're going to separate what's rumor, what's public, and what's actually in this indictment. But before we go over this one, I want you guys to remember, I don't give you no angle. I just give you the story. So with that being said, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. We'll jump right to it.
Make another PSA. Listen, if you ever wish payday came sooner, this might actually help. It's a banking app called Current with a bunch of useful tools. And one of the main tools lets you access up to $750 of your paycheck in advance if you switch over with Current. You get a full set of features like the paycheck advance, overdraft, the bill card, and more. Whether you want to build credit or a smoother way with managing your money, it actually handles everything in one app. I actually like the app myself. That's why I partner with them. And right now they're giving away $75 for anyone who signed up using my QR code or use the link that's in my bio. Once you scan the QR code, it'll take you directly to the sign-in page. Enter the normal steps, enter your information, order your current card. Once you're done with that, it'll prompt you to a section with promo code. Make sure you enter the promo code, the family. That link automatically unlocks the $75. Make sure you go through the full sign-up process so you don't miss out. So let's check out this video.
You can find it on Google where them niggas that beat the shit out of Future in the security. Future ran out to LA Club. Google Future gets rushed in LA Club. They was on him. That's why they was on him.
Talking about Trick from Detroit.
Nah, Trick from Detroit. So, you know, that's broke, right? So all I know is, you know, we always knew who owed somebody some money. So when we leaving, we going to Atlanta. You know that story I tell Rich about when Big U saying, Wack, catch this flight with me. I want to
You always telling the motherfucking story, ain't
show you something. And he took me out there and took me to the Four Seasons. He said, I'm going to turn this out to the 60s. They got a blood neighborhood around the corner. You could turn that out. And I said, nigga, you tripping. I went back to the airport and left. It was that trip. That was the trip. We on that red-eye Delta flight. Same one I used to always catch lunch off on.
Right.
So the nigga, when we come through, Big U say, he say, little bro, is that the nigga? I look. I said, that's Super Shooter, bitch. I said, hey, Future, come here. Let me holler at you. You know when you first come through, when you grabbing your shit off the conveyor belt on the other side of security? Somewhere, that nigga start trotting through that motherfucker. Lead a bitch. I'm trotting right behind him. We on the Delta side, right? It ain't number one flight leaving that night going to Atlanta, right? All the other red eyes on the American side. So the nigga breaks right and runs into the thing that connect to the plane, but it wasn't no plane. The nigga throws the phone. When I pick the phone up, it's another reason why Future ain't gonna say nothing, because he know I make the homie come on Clubhouse and tell the truth. He know, right? I pick the phone up. He say, bro, I say, what's up? He say, what's the problem? I say, oh, the homie. He said, who? I tell him. He said, what he owe him? I said, this light ain't nothing but a dime, but he owe him. He played him. Nigga been ducking him. He say, Wack, my word, I sent it in the morning. Give me his wire. My word is on me. I got business with that nigga. Let him be. He said, let him be. I said, all right, you got that. I dropped the phone on the ground and walked back out. He sent Trick his money the next day.
Have you seen Future since then?
Now, all over the internet, that seemed to be the focus. Big U pressed Future as of right now based on the new superseding indictment. But they also not looking at Wack indicating that it was just him and Big U at the airport. And based on this new paperwork, Big U and the co-conspirator was at the airport allegedly attacking Future. So why they got Wack as co-conspirator 1, allegedly.
Last video, I'm going to go turn myself in to see what's going on. They talking about I'm a fugitive. So they just raided all my houses. 600 was actually with the police when they raided my house. And he's actually got video and footage of it. So y'all know what y'all dealing with. And I just want to say this to y'all. When they raided my houses and my property, they was asking about Wack. Wack, loose cannon, 600, and this internet stuff. All of y'all filed. All y'all who be sending shit around the internet, all y'all who be promoting and listening to what these niggas saying, all y'all giving these likes and hidden likes, all y'all supporting this. All y'all guilty of this shit. If you had something against a black man, you should handle it with a black man in the streets. Wack said 100 times he was gonna take my contracts. He working with the FBI. The FBI went to the city.
Before we try to break that down and see if that's true or not, that's later in the indictment. Let's literally
I don't gotta know if it's true or not. I know it's true. I know he been working with the police.
start on page 1. Before we get into the murders, the robberies, and everything else the feds are alleging, we gotta understand who they saying was involved. Because the first few pages of this indictment aren't about proving a crime. They're about introducing the people and setting the stage for everyone that's coming later. The very first name is one everyone already knows. Eugene Henley Jr., better known as Big U. But look how the indictment introduces him. They don't just call him Big U. They list his allies, which is Unc, Draws, Hannibal Muhammad, Anybody Killer, and Dave Austin. Muhammad.
Hannibal, that must be some type of gang giving. Anybody Killer though? Dave Austin? Who the fuck is finna call you Dave Austin? Dave Austin must be some type of name where you know how y'all be doing, you know how like the mob or some shit or somebody of that stature doing like drug business or some shit. That's the name that they give. That must be what that is. Dave Austin. I mean, I'm not finna call you no Draws. I mean, I'm not finna call you no Y'all be tripping me out, gang. I ain't gonna lie.
Anybody Killer, and Dave Austin.
Hold on, Big U.
Oh, you want all the names? Big U, Hannibal, Anybody, Unique, you know what I'm saying? Dante, Draws, you know. Commonly known to my family as Big Draw.
That's important because prosecutors are trying to connect all of those names to one individual.
Draws sound definitely like a family name they would give you. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not finna see you in no street to call you no drawers, gang. I ain't gonna lie.
Before they even start presenting evidence. Then they move to the people they say were the closest to him. First, Sylvester Robinson, also known as Vape. The government described him as Big U long-time criminal partner rather. They don't just say they knew each other. They describe Robinson as Big U's right-hand man, underboss, and enforcer. That's the government's wording. You'll hear those titles come up throughout the indictment. Next is Mark Martin, also known as Bedclaw. Prosecutors say he was another close associate, a self-admitted rolling 60s member, and someone they believe helped Big U's business operations. According to the indictment, Martin owned Under the Hood muscle cars in California and co-founded Unique Music Entertainment with Big U. Then there were additional defendants, Tremaine Williams, also known as Loose Cannon, Amani, also known as Monty Frederick Blayton Jr., and Tiffany Hayes. We'll get into what prosecutors specifically accuse each of them as we move through the different counts, because not everybody is charged with the exact same crimes. Now here's where things started getting interesting to me. The feds aren't saying this was just a group of friends. They were saying this was an organized criminal enterprise. In fact, they gave it a name, the Big U Enterprise. According to prosecutors, this alleged enterprise operated in Los Angeles and elsewhere, and they claim its members worked together over the course of years to commit crimes that included murder, robbery, extortion, fraud, human trafficking, and witness tampering. The indictment say Big U wasn't just involved in the streets. Prosecutors say he was also the CEO of a nonprofit called Developing Options. They say Mark Martin served as the chief financial officer, and Robinson was the organization payroll. According to the indictment, the organization also operated under names like Unique Ballers, Crenshaw Rams Football, Crenshaw Youth Football and Cheer, and Crenshaw Ballers. On paper, Developing Options was supposed to help keep young people away from gangs, drugs, and violence through the intervention program and youth sports. That's how it presented itself publicly, according to the indictment. But the government say there were another side of it. According to federal prosecutors, Developing Options received about $550,000 a year through Los Angeles Gang Reduction Youth Development (GRYD) program. The indictment say between 2018 and 2023, the organization received more than $2.35 million in public funding. Prosecutors allege Big U, Mark Martin, were responsible for making sure the organization complied with the grant's requirements, including employee background checks, training, certifications, budgeting, payroll, and required reporting. Now at this point, the government hasn't yet explained what they believe happened to that money. They're laying the foundation. They're showing the jury what position these defendants allegedly held before they even get into the later allegations of fraud and misuse of nonprofit resources. And that's something you'll notice throughout this indictment. The prosecutors don't jump around. They build the case piece by piece. First they tell you who everyone is, then they explain what roles they allegedly played. Only after that do they start laying out specific crimes they say were committed. And trust me, that's where this indictment starts taking a turn. Because in the next section, the feds explain what they say the purpose of this alleged enterprise really was. And it's much broader than just one murder case. Next was the check-in culture. The feds don't describe it as a network of pay and respect. According to the indictment, they allege it became a way to demand money, exert control, and determine who could safely conduct business in Los Angeles. They even quote statements prosecutors attribute to Big U from podcasts and documentaries to support that theory. And that's exactly where this indictment really starts connecting public statements to the government's criminal allegations. Now fam, this is probably one of the most talked about parts in this indictment. Because if you listen to interviews over the last 10 to 15 years, you probably heard people talk about checking in. Big U even had a podcast called Check In. Some people say it was about showing respect. Others say it was about making sure everybody was safe. According to prosecutors, certain people coming into Los Angeles, including professional athletes, musicians, entertainers, and even people involved in criminal activity, were expected to contact Big U before doing business in the city. The indictment say the purpose was simply introducing yourself. The government alleged people were expected to ask permission and in many situations make payments to receive what prosecutors describe as protection while they were in Los Angeles. Now here's where this section is a little bit different. The feds aren't relying on only one witness statement. They're using Big U's own public interviews, documentaries, and podcasts as part of their case. In the Big U podcast Checking In, the quote lyrics from opening Check In when they arrived in Los Angeles and warned them if they don't, it's gonna get hot.
Hop off the plane, check in. Penthouse suite, check in.
To the government, those public statements help explain what they believe The phrase was inside the alleged enterprise. Then they brought up another statement. According to the indictment, prosecutors quote Big U from the documentary Hip Hop Uncovered when they alleged that if he didn't answer the phone, that can mean death for somebody. The indictment brings up something from around 2017. According to prosecutors, Big U was recorded speaking to a film crew in Los Angeles. The government alleged they told them that if they wanted to film in the neighborhood, they needed to check in. Prosecutors also alleged he warned that if they didn't, we're going to check in all your equipment. Why?
Don't matter. You're nice so hard.
Movie production in the hood. That's how we do it, you know, man.
Top flight, baby. Security.
GB running this here movie set in the hood.
Come on out here.
Coming out here and checking in with GB, getting these movies done. You better know it. You know, anytime you want to do movies in the hood, just check it in. We can make sure it's done. Movies, videos. But if you don't check it in,
Oh, well. Check your ass out.
we're going to check you in, all right? We're going to check in all of your equipment. We're going to check in all of your equipment.
I include that because the government is trying to show a pattern.
Checking all your equipment. That sounds like a diss to motherfucking Nipsey, puss ass boy.
And fam, at this point, we just get
That's why your ass, where you at now? I bet your ass ain't had to check in that prison you in.
started.
Stupid ass boy.
Because the next session in this indictment finally moves away from explaining what the enterprise is and begins laying out the overacts, the specific events prosecutors say actually happened. And the very first one is the allegation that's been at the center of this federal case from the very beginning, the murder of R.W. in Las Vegas, a young man who was a football star, where a football player played with Big U's son. Now, we all know Big U's son now plays in the NFL, but unfortunately his friend didn't make it. He ended up becoming a rapper under Big U. He ended up dissing Big U. Days later, he was dead. The very first overact they focus on is the murder of a man they identify only by his initials, R.W. We already identified him in the first video. I'll leave the link in the bio. According to prosecutors, R.W. was an artist signed to or working with Unique Music, and they allege Big U believed R.W. had disrespected both him and what they called the Big U Enterprise. Those allegations contained in the indictment. Now here's what stood out to me. The government isn't saying this happened after some random argument. They're alleging this was planned days before. According to the indictment, prosecutors say Big U arranged for R.W. to travel from Los Angeles to Las Vegas to record music at a studio owned by a Grammy-winning producer. They don't identify the producer by name in the indictment, only by description. The government say an employee of Unique Music identified only as KF booked R.W.'s plane ticket, and not only that, they allege KF also booked R.W.'s Airbnb through January 19th through the 26th of 2021 because the purpose of the trip was supposed to be recording music. So from the government perspective, everything about the trip looked normal.
Yeah. But they say, so if y'all don't know the story, because I don't know if they're going to say all of the story, you know, this go around or whatever. I don't know if he got all the information or whatever. But they claim that, if y'all don't know the story, they claim that Big U was about to sign this little boy. Some, I guess one of his son's friends or some shit like that. He got the little boy out there, booked everything, and then the little boy got out there, and I guess he just started being mesmerized by the city lights, I guess. So then he started not going to the sessions, bullshitting around, spending up the little money that he had out there, shit like that, and then Big U got mad at him and killed him. That's pretty much the story. Was to sum it all up, just in case they try to be extra with this shit. To sum it all up, that's what happened. You know what I'm saying? That's what got him where the fuck he at right now.
Plane ticket, a place to stay, studio time, everything looked like business. But according to prosecutors, things changed on January 24th, 21. The indictment alleged Big U and Sylvester Robinson drove from Los Angeles to Las Vegas in a Lexus. Why? The government say they went to the studio to confront R.W. because they believe he hadn't been taking the recording sessions seriously and had wasted expensive studio time. According to prosecutors, Big U confronted R.W. about missing studio work and accused him of disrespecting Unique Music and the alleged enterprise. Now, family, think about what prosecutors are doing here. Every fact they're laying out is building a timeline. They're trying to show a jury there was a reason for a trip, a reason for the confrontation, and eventually, according to the government, a motive. But we're still not in the part that investigators believe is the murder itself, because in the next session, the feds start talking about cell phone location data, airplane mode, and the drive away from the studio, not to mention the trip towards a remote area north of Las Vegas. And what exact timeline they say places Big U with RW shortly before RW's body was discovered. According to the indictment, after RW finished recording at the studio, something changed. The government alleged that shortly before 1 a.m. on January 25th, 2021, Big U's 2 cell phones suddenly stopped reporting location data. Now here's why prosecutors say that's significant. According to the indictment, investigators believe both phones either were turned off or placed into airplane mode at nearly the same time while Big U was still in the area of the recording studio. According to prosecutors, Big U drove RW from the studio back to the Airbnb. But here's what they say happened next. Instead of staying there for the night, the indictment alleged that around 1:20 in the morning, RW came back outside with the suitcase already packed. Think about that for a second. According to the government, his return flight to Los Angeles wasn't scheduled until the next day. His Airbnb reservation also wasn't supposed to end until the next day. Yet prosecutors allege he left the Airbnb early carrying his luggage and got into the Lexus with Big U. The indictment alleged Big U drove north of Las Vegas towards an area near Apex Regional Landfill. The government doesn't spend pages speculating about what happened there. Instead, they simply lay out the route they say investigators reconstructed using digital evidence and location data. Then, according to prosecutors, the vehicle turned around. The indictment alleged Big U drove back towards Las Vegas. And at around 2:15 a.m., the government says both cell phones suddenly begin reporting location information again. Remember, just a little earlier, prosecutors alleged both phones had stopped transmitting location data. According to the indictment, around 2:20 a.m., Big U allegedly called Sylvester Robinson, who prosecutors say had remained at the recording studio. A short time later, the indictment alleged Big U returned to the studio, and according to the prosecutors, when someone asked where he'd been, he allegedly said he had gone to the gym. According to the indictment, later that day, RW's body was found in the north of Las Vegas with multiple gunshot wounds to the head. The indictment even includes a photograph identifying the general location, where prosecutors say the body was recovered. And if you thought that's where the story ends, it doesn't. Because the next session isn't about the murder itself. It's about what the feds say happened after the murder. Now fam, if everything we talked about so far is the government's timeline leading up to RW's death, the next section is about what prosecutors say happened after. Because according to the indictment, the murder wasn't the end of it. The feds alleged that almost immediately, people began taking steps to make sure investigators wouldn't be able to piece together what happened. Those are allegations contained in the indictment and remained unproven unless established in court. The first thing prosecutors pointed to is a phone call. According to the indictment, after RW was killed, Big U contacted the Grammy-winning producer, whose studio RW had been using. Why? The government alleged Big U told the producer that Nevada homicide detectives were going to be contacting him about the murder investigation. Now, by itself, some people might say that's just giving somebody a heads up, but then prosecutors describe what they say happened next. According to the indictment, the very next day, Big U allegedly contacted the same producer again and demanded that the producer and his employees leave the recording studio. And this is where the government theory start getting serious. Federal prosecutors allege that at Big U's direction, an associate identified only as DS, along with others, removed portions of the studio's security system, including surveillance video and data covering the time period when RW, Big U, and Robinson had been inside the studio. A couple days later, prosecutors say KF, the same employee they allege booked RW's travel and Airbnb, contacted the Airbnb owner and asked a very specific question. According to the indictment, he allegedly wanted to know whether there were cameras on the property. But the part that really jumped off the page for me came almost 2 years later. According to the indictment, prosecutors intercepted a phone call on December 31st, 2022. In that call, they alleged Big U made statements about how he handled problems with other men and suggested that if he had a serious issue with someone, either that person wouldn't be here or he wouldn't be here. The government included that quote because prosecutors believe it reflects the mindset they existed inside the alleged enterprise. But the next section gets into intercepted phone calls, switching vehicles, avoiding detectives, encrypted FaceTime conversations, warning family members not to talk, and what prosecutors say were coordinated efforts to stay one step ahead of investigators. And that's when witness tampering had allegedly begun. In the next section of this indictment, according to the feds, once detectives started closing in, the government alleged the focus shifted from the crime itself to making sure nobody helped investigators. According to prosecutors, everything really picks up on February 14, 2023. That's when detectives allegedly went looking for Big U in connection to RW's murder. The indictment say investigators went to his residence, but according to the government, his wife allegedly told detectives that Big U didn't actually live there full time. According to the indictment, after speaking with detectives, Big U's wife allegedly called him using his father's phone. The indictment even alleged Big U's first question wasn't, "What do they want?" According to prosecutors, he asked, "How many officers are there?" According to prosecutors, after learning detectives were looking for him, Big U allegedly stopped going home for several days. The government also alleged he switched vehicles with co-defendant Sylvester Robinson. Again, each one of these facts standing alone may not prove anything, but prosecutors are telling the jury to look at the total picture instead of one event. Then on February 21st, 2023, Big U allegedly instructed his own son not to talk to anyone about RW's murder. The indictment also alleged he told his wife to contact KF's mother. But here's what caught my attention. According to prosecutors, he allegedly instructed her to use FaceTime for their conversation. On July 5th, 2023, federal investigators had a hidden recording device inside under the hood muscle cars. Prosecutors alleged that after law enforcement tried...
And I ain't gonna tell y'all why it was said that use FaceTime. I ain't gonna tell y'all. Just know though, back then it was, man, I don't know why the hell y'all be on that FaceTime. That shit records you too. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm gonna leave it at that. If you put two and two together, you'll get it. Listen to what he said. Was instructed to use FaceTime. Then you put two and two together with what I just told you. It'll make sense to you.
Contacted Big U, Mark Martin. Big U began wondering
That's all I'm gonna say.
out loud whether they were under surveillance in connection with RW's murder. Now, in part 8 is the alleged extortion operation. This is where the indictment shifts away from the RW homicide and talk about something prosecutors say been going on for years, including the incident with Future. According to the feds, this wasn't just about one person. They alleged the enterprise was making money by intimidating people into paying what they describe as extortion payments. And the first example was someone they don't identify by name. Instead, the indictment refers to the person only as NDC, describing him as a Grammy-winning recording artist. And for those who don't know, Future's real name is Nevadius Damum Wilburn, also known as Nevadius Damum Cash. According to prosecutors, back in 2014, Big U allegedly approached this artist to collect money on behalf of someone from Detroit, Trick Trick. The government says when the artist refused to pay and stopped answering calls, things escalated. The incident alleged Big U and others committed violence against the artist and members of his security team because the refusal to pay. Now, two people was there according to Wack 100, Big U and him. And if the feds know this, it will have to be Future or Wack 100 who allegedly gave up this information.
What's wrong with you, man?
No, I'm not. That's why I said I wasn't gonna call you.
Remo, I just called Remo all kind of bitch ass niggas. Nigga running my name. I said the crazy part about it is 90% of you motherfuckers wasn't even around back then to even know what you read. First of all, Future ain't never give us touch. I ain't never heard Future get his ass whooped in LA. Let's cover that. He damn sure wasn't touched at the airport, and I made it clear that Big U stayed behind when I had the conversation with him, so he never touched him. Then he's talking about days later in LA. Well, we all took a red eye to fucking Atlanta that night. Big U stayed in Atlanta a week. I came back the same day. Same day I landed, I came back. So there's no way days later Future got his ass whooped in LA and Big U stayed in motherfucking Atlanta for a week.
I think that, are they talking about that party where they in the 60s pulled up?
I mean, now you got to remember, I've always said this because it was on the internet. Remember when the dumb bozo was telling me nothing was going on? It was a party in Hollywood.
Yeah.
It was a party in Hollywood.
Was it BT weekend? Was it BT Award weekend?
I don't know. They took off on dude's security and shit. That's you can find that on Google, but
yeah, and he went to the hospital.
It ain't adding up because for one, dude wasn't attacked in no airport. 2, wasn't no homeboys there. 3, it was a conversation. 4, we all got on the bread eye.
Now I'm gonna tell you what else this conversation about. As you can heard, probably already heard like 2 times already. So Big U was claiming that Future they ran up on Future in the airport, him and his girl, and they scared him up in the airport, and he was running, and him and his girl was getting hit all upside the head, and this, that, and the third, and blase blah. But Doe B, Future, when Future heard about it, Future called Doe B And though B was like, yo, and you know, he got on like a podcast or some shit like that. He's like, nah, that shit false as hell. Like, you know, ain't no shit like that went down. Woo, 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 woo. And so forth and so on. But that's the breakdown of that. You know what I'm saying? If I ain't made no reactions about this shit, y'all, but I've been on, you know, I've been behind the scenes, you know what I'm saying, checking in. Checking in.
Going to Atlanta. I came back. I landed that day, 6 in the morning, whatever time, and I came back that day. Big U stayed a week. Future stayed in Atlanta as well, so ain't no days later he got his ass whooping LAX because the nigga wasn't in LA. And he never was touched. So I'm looking at the initials, but they shit ain't adding up. I mean, it ain't a charge, it's just an overt act anyway.
Yeah, it's an overt act.
Yeah, it ain't a charge, but
the only thing that was kind of sus is that like they're alluding to the story you told about Future and
I'm always telling the story. For one, it wasn't no extortion. It was a real deal. That was a real debt, and it really got paid. And Future ain't even the one that paid it. I've always said that. Future didn't pay that debt. Like, he got paid the next day. And only got paid because it was a real. If you owe a motherfucker, I've been on the nigga all week. Owe me $10,000 this week. I've been on his ass all week. Nigga, I really gave you $20,000. You only sent back 10, and I need another 10, motherfucker. I really gave you that. They go to motherfucking wire document to where you owe. So I don't know what people don't understand. If a motherfucker owes some money, you see a motherfucker, you gonna holler at a motherfucker. But motherfucker saying he was assaulted and all that, like, where you get that's all cap.
And that's where the thin line, because I agree.
I ain't never heard, and this is the crazy part because I done heard this story before even hearing about this story right now. And I ain't never heard. Now, I've heard Wack 100 talk about it, but I've never knew that he did an interview with Academics stating the facts of what went on, and I ain't never heard this part. So this crazy.
With you in this sense, and I'm wondering how they're trying to like lump everything into extortion. Like, if
I'm telling you what's going on.
If I owe you $100 and I come to you and I say, "Yo, you gonna pay my $100," even if we have a heated discussion, am I extorting you or I'm asking you for payment for something you owe? Like, the money that you've never stated that money was anything other than a debt he owed. It wasn't on some, that's a check-in fee or that's
Hey, bro, I ain't never participated in no check-in fees with nobody. I don't believe in that shit. But and another thing you gotta understand is, Big U co-defendants, if y'all don't know what y'all read.
Okay.
Like, if you read in 2023, Vay, who's 60 years old out of Northridge, right, says that he was holding one of Big U guns when they went and threatened the dispensary owner, right? Pay attention. Vay is in the RICO. He's one of the dudes that's free. This story about Future, this ain't coming from Future. This is coming from one of his homeboys on the RICO telling the story of what he thinks has happened, and it's between two of them. It's either between Hop or Bear Claw, right?
Why do you think the feds put this in now? Because it wasn't in the other indictment.
It's just an overt. Because nigga, his codees is talking. Now, they wasn't even there.
Okay.
This would lead me to believe it's one of his codees told that story because the story's off. You know how niggas would go back and add shit? You know, we called a nigga, we put hands on him and all this old shit. Because reading that, it don't make sense. Because the nigga was never touched, and days later, he wasn't in LAX. The nigga was in Atlanta. Big U wasn't even in LA, he was in Atlanta. So that's why when I'm reading, I'm like, either this is another incident, or one of his codees is just telling these people something to tell them something. Because it don't make sense. He never was. Future, I've never known Future for getting his ass whooped in LA.
Hey, the only thing I'm wondering why
heard of Future got his ass whooped, period. So I don't even know.
Listen, I'm not trying to set you up with a question, but
I ain't sound like no D-Rider or nothing. I'm just saying.
They put, and I don't know if they're referring to you or I get it. Maybe with a Future, not Future. I mean, Big U's homeboy is saying some shit to the feds, But they were like,
Gotta be.
they said Big U and a co-conspirator. And from the story we hear, we're wondering if that's aimed at you.
Prosecutors allege that just a few days later, Big U and another person chased the same artist through Los Angeles International Airport in another attempt to intimidate him into paying. They only speak on 2 people, fam. That's important. And remember what I said earlier in this video. Years ago, Wack 100 publicly talked about an incident involving Future at the airport. Then the indictment moves to another alleged victim, identified as Victim 1. According to prosecutors, Victim 1 was involved in promoting music and clubs before later becoming associated with the unlicensed marijuana dispensary in Los Angeles. The government alleged that for years, Victim 1 was paying Big U as much as $25,000 a month in extortion payments. They alleging a reoccurring payment that continued until Victim 1 eventually stopped answering Big U's phone call. According to the indictment, that's when things allegedly escalated again. Federal prosecutors say July 5th, 2021, Sylvester Robinson, Tremaine Ashley Williams, better known as Loose Cannon, and about 9 other individuals allegedly went to Victim's 1 marijuana dispensary. The government alleged they robbed the business, taking cash, marijuana products, and personal property from the people inside. Victim 1 was then invited to Big U's.
This was first started getting them fucking look that I guess you would say by the feds. This is when I know he started. You know what I mean? Really, well, probably was known by feds, but it was starting to take a turn for him with the friendship with the feds. For this incident right here.
House. The indictment alleged when Victim 1 arrived, some of the same people who had allegedly robbed him were there. And prosecutors say many of them had the items that they robbed from him in plain view. According to the indictment, Big U allegedly looked at Victim 1 and said, "That's how you rob yourself." The government then alleged Big U returned only part of the stolen property and told Victim 1 he would have to pay $10,000 if he wanted to prevent future robberies. According to the prosecutor, it didn't stop there. The alleged Big U encountered Victim 1 to identify other marijuana businesses that could be robbed, promising Victim 1 a share of the proceeds from those future robberies. Then the next session, they introduced another name that's been making headlines in hip-hop because prosecutors began discussing intercepted phone calls involving Brick Baby, alleged robbery proceeds, and conversations about splitting money. Now here's where things get strange, because Brick Baby is not listed as one of the defendants in the indictment, but federal prosecutors do mention him by name and describing intercepted calls and what they allege happened surrounding robbery proceeds. And that's an important distinction. According to the indictment, on November 11, 2022, prosecutors say Big U had intercepted conversations with Zir Mitchell, also known as Brick Baby. The government's allegations is that the two were discussing money connected to a robbery. Specifically, prosecutors allege Big U and Brick Baby coordinated how proceeds from that robbery would be delivered. Again, it's the government's allegations. According to prosecutors, another intercepted call involving Frederick Layton.
So now was this before or after they was going on all them podcasts running their mouth about who they was and who they was connected to and this, that, and the third? Now, I will say, if this is before that, then yeah, okay, yeah, Fairs is already on y'all ass for sure. But if this wasn't before that, then yeah, bro, y'all tell you, man, it's in that thing. It's in that thing, and there's cause you the man of your city, it should have a lot of y'all motherfuckers food, boy.
Jr., who was one of the defendants in the case.
That's y'all thing. Y'all want to be the man of y'all city so much. Don't even understand, boy. Your one little city, even whether it's big or small, whether tourists come there and whatever it is, bro. Y'all motherfuckers don't be understanding, boy. There's a lot of cities and towns. Your shit don't be meaning nothing. I'm just letting you know.
The government alleged blatantly described a robbery where a victim was forced to call his supplier before being robbed. According to the indictment, after hearing about the robbery, prosecutors say Big U responded by saying he was going to take half of whatever was collected, giving a portion to Vade, Sylvester Robinson, and have Robinson deliver the remaining money. According to the prosecutors, Big U can allegedly be heard counting money in the intercepted calls. The indictment say he commented that there was only $2,000 to $3,000. According to the government, Blayton responded by saying Brick Baby had told him there should have been between $5,000 to $7,000, and that someone needed to call him about the missing money. Then the indictment jumps ahead to March 3rd, 2023, and this is the most revealing allegation in this section. According to prosecutors, Big U allegedly described what they call modus operandi, or operating method, of these robberies. The government alleged he explained that the victims were always robbed of everything they had. Instead, prosecutors say the idea was leave victims with enough money to continue making money so they could allegedly be robbed again, identify new robbery targets, or even buy back some of the property they had been taken from them. But that's what the government proves happened. Prosecutors will argue it wasn't a random robbery. Now, since then, Big U has fired his attorney and represented himself in his case. Don't know how to feel about that. But since then, the feds claim while incarcerated, they've been trying to get the people who's witnesses in his case hit up while they in jail. But there you have it, fam. That was the latest on the Big U saga with him inside the feds. And there's more charges being added on. Person with no bond defending himself. You can only imagine how he's stressing up in there. Not to mention, we did a video on him losing his son on Halloween. And one of his sons has still managed to overcome every obstacle while playing in the NFL. I'll leave both videos in the bio if you guys want to check it out. Let me know how you guys feel about this one.
Man, look here, boy. Yo, you motherfuckers, you motherfuckers, you motherfuckers, start worrying about being a man to yourself. You motherfuckers want to be the man of every single body else but yourself. That's why you motherfuckers be getting railroaded. You know what I'm saying? Spent back on and all this bullshit. Cause you motherfuckers be wanting to do too much, bro. Just chill, bro. You know what I'm saying? Just chill. You do what you just do what you do. Motherfucker ain't gotta know what you do and what you would do about it. That's your probably our motherfucker want everybody to know what they are doing. That shit don't make you no gangster, bro. It's so crazy that's so crazy how the universe make you think that do though. It's so crazy how the universe make you think that's what it is. That's how you supposed to do it. They got you fooled. They trick you. They tricked you in the early they start tricking you in the late 2000s. It started beginning in the early 2000s. Then they start putting it in the works in the late 2000s. Start tricking you, make you think that's what it is. You motherfuckers got it all wrong, man. You motherfuckers got it all wrong, bro. You better get your shit together, bro. But yo, your ass be fucking 60 years old like his stupid ass. Your ass be 63 years old. Your ass be 63. Let me say the age again. Your ass be 63 years old. Talking about you fixing to do uh, at least 15 years in prison. Man, get your ass. Fuck out of here. That goofball, goof boy shit. Get your ass. That shit don't mean nothing. That shit don't mean nothing. I promise you that shit don't mean nothing. I promise you. I promise you ain't what you think it is. I promise you. I put out everything. I think this story, that's why I watch it from him because I don't think I think that was about something else, honestly. Why the hell am I just saying, what you call it here, though? Yeah, though, y'all. I just wanted to get on this bitch for real. I know I ain't been on here in a minute, bro. Um, I won't go into the shop story right now, you know what I mean? But I just kind of just trying to find self for real, bro. You know what I mean? Still trying to find self. Um, and just vibing and just kind of vibing out, bro. Oh, is this the other dude? Oh no, that's somebody else. That's crazy. Um, what was I saying? So yeah, bro. Um, that's all I've been having going on. I just been and really though, I'm gonna tell y'all something though. Really for real, y'all gonna start seeing a lot more vlogs, bro. I kind of wanna get into the vlogging. You know what I mean? I kind of wanna. I don't want to shy away from reactions, but I just kind of want to. You know what I mean? I just kind of want to not shy away, like I said, but I just do more vlogging content. That's because just because the and I say that y'all tell y'all why I say that. You know, I can't just leave it right there. I would leave it right there, but that'd be fucked up. I say that because where I'm at right now, in kind of like my headspace, I kind of just want to be like creative um with with the stuff I'm doing outside of reaction. You know what I mean? I've seen a whole bunch of bullshit. I'm not be like this. Probably because I've been watching a lot of racing shit lately. As y'all can see, I ain't really been on too much thing but racing for real.
What are you doing?
On April 1st, 2023, while on patrol, an officer came across a
Bro,
vehicle
that bitch
stopped in the
looking for
median while
everything.
slightly obstructing a westbound lane of travel. The officer went to confront the driver, but was clearly unconscious. They had to act quickly before the driver wakes up and tries to drive off, putting innocent people in danger.
I really don't want to reach over them, though. That's the thing.
Is it in gear still?
Yeah. It's like he just drove it up on the curb and said, good enough.
They're all locked. Unlock it. All doors. Can you just brake? Hard brake?
Yo, yeah, it's over with. When you walk up to the car and you see a Grey Goose bottle on the seat, yeah, it's finna be a long one. Or a short one, should I say.
Hey, buddy. Time to wake.
Don't ask me how I know what that bottle is.
Can't park here.
ADT Central. Can you start us a unit with a cage, please? Hello?
What are you doing? Hey. What are you doing?
I'm trying to find me.
Oh, we got this.
So what?
The keys.
What are you doing with keys?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Huh?
That's awesome.
Yeah.
You got an ID on you?
You got an ID on you, buddy?
You can stay sitting right there for right now.
Oh, I don't have an ID on me.
Yeah, thank you. I'll take that. You said there was no insurance on it, right?
Yeah, I want
Clear. I think it's safe to say we're going to need next line as well.
Like, I pulled over. I was too tipsy to keep going.
Okay. How much you been drinking? That whole bottle?
No, that actually came from the club with it.
What club? You know where you are?
Yeah.
You're sitting on that Dalton carpet. That ain't a club.
That's right. Like, it's not too far.
Okay. How much have you had to drink?
Like, I actually had that bottle.
Clear.
I'm a lightweight.
I'm sorry?
I'm a lightweight.
You're a lightweight? You're too tipsy to keep going?
Yeah.
What time do you start drinking?
He said, yeah.
When I got there.
What's that?
When I got there. It's like,
What time did you get there?
maybe like 11 o'clock.
What time do you think it is now?
I really don't know.
Okay.
Honestly, I should have left the car where it was.
Yeah. I probably would have been a little bit smarter.
Yeah. Yeah.
Luckily you didn't hit nobody. Just a
Thank
curb.
God.
Just a curb.
Do you have proof of insurance for the car? If it's showing it's got no insurance, we can at least try to work with you with that.
Really?
Yeah. You got it on like a phone app or something? Says it's got insurance?
I just bought this piece of shit.
What's up, dude? Miss, can you get out?
Sir.
No. Can you put that out?
He said, huh?
Come over here, bud. Come over here.
Best spot's probably going to be to walk him over to this parking lot.
Hey, Miss, look at me. Look at me. How you doing? You doing all right? So, hey, listen. We think that you might have had a little too much to drink. Would you be willing to do a series of standardized field sobriety tests to make sure you're okay to drive?
I don't even know whose car that is.
You don't even know whose car that is? Well, you were in the driver's seat.
And you just said you bought it.
Yeah, they sold me the car. I don't know, like.
Would you be willing to do some field sobriety tests to make sure you're okay to drive?
No, like,
No?
they sold me the car.
Just save it one time.
It's a nice car.
Go and put your hands behind your back.
Can you turn your palms like you're praying, face each other? So it's a little bit more comfortable for you. And you don't remember what club you're at?
Oh.
Yeah. Dalton Carpet. You want to read implied? That way. That way, poor Serene doesn't get subpoenaed for ALS.
Come over here, buddy. You're gonna just walk right back here to the back of my car. You got anything on you I need to know about? Stop pulling away from me.
I'm not cool.
Okay. Well, I need to search you. There's a process we got to go through, okay?
All right.
Just bear with me, okay? You got anything on you that's going to poke me or stick me?
Definitely not.
Okay. That's a really nice watch you got there.
It's folded in half. It's the
Oh.
probably ripped.
Lots of money. We're just going to leave your money in your pocket, okay?
Bro had a Bud Light with a Grey Goose.
We're going to have a seat, okay? Go ahead and have a seat. Listen to me, it might be easier if you just put your butt down first, okay? And slide yourself back in the seat.
Dude, he had us dying when we started this. We're like, how'd it get here? He's like, I was too tipsy, so I pulled over. We're like, what club were you at? And he pointed at Dalton Carpet. We're like, nah.
We'll make it a nice, easy trip, all right? Get you in and out.
While searching the car, officers discovered an almost empty bottle of Grey Goose and an empty can of Bud Light. The suspect was booked for driving under the influence, driving while license suspended or revoked, no insurance, and 2 counts of open container violation.
Damn, bro, license suspended. Damn.
On June 5, 2023, the suspect pled guilty to DUI, driving while license suspended or revoked, no insurance, and 1 count of open container violation. The remaining open container violation charge was dismissed. He was sentenced to 11 days of confinement, 36 months of probation, ordered to complete 480 hours of community service, ordered to pay a $2,106 fine, $50 in court costs, and $25 in fees.
Dang. That shit would have had me. Damn. Damn, my dumb ass. I would have been mad at myself. Damn. Man, my stupid ass. You know what I'm saying? I would have been mad as hell. But I think we're gonna end it right there without. Oh, we gotta finish a video, y'all. Damn, I don't even know. Damn, I don't even know if if I don't do it now, I'm gonna forget about it. Oh man, I don't even remember the shit. Let me see if I can find it right. I gotta go to my stuff, y'all. Right. All right. So that's not gonna pull up. All right. That's good. All right, it's not gonna pull up that way. Yeah, this shit be funny as hell. Well, I guess I want to be able to do the video. Apparently. I gotta go to that because I gotta go to my video. What's that? I don't even know. What's that file called? It's called Big. So whatever. I ain't restarted my computer, doing all this and all that. That shit out. So we are going to fucking leave it at that. Might be out though. This one right here. His ass doesn't look. Damn, said 2,500 horsepower. Oh, he got one of them racing. So of course that bitch gonna be 25. Drive that bitch on the strip. Okay. He talking. I'm thinking he talking about some street car type shit. He talking about a fucking drag car. I bet you that bitch is 2,500 horsepower. What is he talking about? What the fuck is he talking about? Boy, get your ass out of here. Okay. Jimmy Neutron looking at boy, fucking Mad Max. Motherfucking wanna be fucking Ken motherfucking big block, stupid ass boy. Get your ass fuck up out of here.